From auditioning 5 times.
You haven't?
No.
Me neither.
To hating their character. By the end of this video, you will find out which cast member refused to star in the show at first.
Who knows? Who knows?
Now, guess who was dubbed spectacular by the casting directors? Jaime Lorente, when trying out for Denver. The actor was only 25 when he submitted his tape. Lorente was an established theater performer with only 2 film credits up his sleeve. The actor felt pressure to offer more than any screen pro he was put up against. And Jaime's absolutely unique ability to capture the character did the job. The head of casting, Eva Lera, said Denver wouldn't exist without Jaime. It was a magical test. Absolutely magical. In fact, I think Denver existed as soon as he did him. Jaime acted out a scene from the first day of the heist with the general director of the Royal Mint of Spain. It was an epic sequence in which he urged Arturo to shoot him while counting down.
Coge la pistola. Te he dicho que cojas la pistola. Si no disparas tú, te voy a disparar yo, te voy a regalar 5 segundos. Soy buena persona.
Watching his self-tape now, you can see how Jaime essentially made Denver real. His attitude, his body language, and most importantly, his iconic laughter. All the cast members invested in their characters, giving them layers and depth. However, some actors were never told their heroes' stories. Surely that couldn't cause too much trouble, right? Darko Perez, who plays Helsinki, regretted submitting his first tape. It seems like, as much as it was a surprise for the audience to find out Helsinki is gay, it was news to Perez too. The actor auditioned, channeling a brutal criminal with a completely different backstory in his mind.
Hey, hostia, espérate. Hola. Por favor, dame este móvil.
Certainly a different vibe. What a shocker it was for Darko when he found out. The actor revealed he would have acted very differently had he known the full story. But despite that, Perez was obviously convincing enough for the showrunners to hire him, although he contributed that fortune to his smile, and we won't argue with that. While some actors were the ones to mold their characters, the role of the professor was the hardest one to fill. It is now impossible for fans to distinguish Álvaro Morte from his iconic character, yet it required a lot of convincing for the directors to see it. The creator's initial idea was to cast a senior actor who looked more like an old Harvard professor. His age and appearance were meant to reflect the professor's wisdom, but the casting directors had a different picture in mind and name-dropped Alvaro Morte to the series makers. Morte looked younger, and he was told he had more of a kindergarten teacher demeanor. Yet, it turns out his softer features worked perfectly for the plot, and that's why viewers are so predisposed to like him, but not the creators. In his first audition, Álvaro thought the creators wanted a copy of Ocean's 11, so he emulated George Clooney from the movies. Surprisingly, it didn't work out in his favor. The actor kept trying to channel the right character until, bingo, he channeled the pensive vibe.
Si el mundo está lleno de cosas que no sabes. Están muchas pirámides, toda la generación de partículas.
The Money Heist actor admitted it was a thought process, saying, "I did 5 auditions for this role. I auditioned for more than 2 months. It was an exhausting process creating the leader of the group, the mastermind with a subtle voice and a broody look." However, Morte was not the only one who researched the film's references for his roles. Being the power couple they are on screen, Itziar Ituño, who plays Lisbon, also followed the same plan. Although it didn't take as many auditions for Itziar to land the right impression. In fact, Ituño didn't even want to be part of Money Heist. When they first sent her an offer for Raquel's casting, the actress wasn't keen to go at all. She absolutely dreaded playing another policewoman again. See, Ituño had previously spent more than 10 years portraying a police inspector in the daily Basque TV drama, Goenkule. But reading the script was a game changer for the star. With a TV career spanning more than 2 decades up her sleeve, Ituño left no doubts with the casting directors with her audition. For her role of Raquel, Ituño found inspiration in an outwardly cool and collected character from The Silence of the Lambs, Clarice Starling. Did you see that coming? And while some were competing to get their audition tape through, you won't find footage of Alba Flores' audition. That's because she never did one. The viewer's favorite, Nairobi, was chosen by the creator himself, Alex Pina. The two had already worked together on another TV show, Vis-a-Vis. That's how Pina knew exactly how and what the actress could deliver and knew Flores was the perfect candidate. Pina casually gave Alba a call, saying he needed a girl to complete the gang, and the actress immediately said yes with no other information about the project. After being asked to at least read the first 2 episodes without her character in it, Alba had no hesitation. She wanted to become a part of it. And that's how Flores became Nairobi without a single screen test, just like her biggest nemesis, the ruthless Alicia Sierra. The 2 stars also worked together on Vis-a-Vis, and ironically, Flores' character was besties with Najwa Nimri in that show. Can you believe it? Unlike his seasoned castmates, Miguel Armen's life was literally defined by his role as Rio. Before his first role in Nothing in Return in 2015, the actor was extremely depressed, struggling to find the will to live. It was the director, Daniel Guzman, who saw Armen on the street and noticed the spark in him and invited him to audition. After his first screen credit in the drama movie, Miguel was selected as the Best Actor at the 2016 Goya Awards for his role. It was at that moment that Miguel realized that acting gives him purpose and joy like nothing else. So he decided to try out for the youngest and most innocent robber of the group in Money Heist.
Instalado 11 teléfonos analógicos. Hemos vuelto a 1980 sin móviles, sin internet y sin rastro alguno de vida digital.
Armen did an incredible job channeling his own emotional turmoil to convey the tenderness and vulnerability of the character. And that's how the fans fell in love with this lovable character. Eva Lera said it was his performance of a boy who would fall in love easily, like a lamb, that convinced her. That is why she did not hesitate to choose Miguel to be Rio, saying, "He is an actor with a heart that does not fit in his chest. It is a love, the candor of Rio." Something we cannot say about Berlin. Nothing about this guy screams relatability or compassion, yet that did not stop him from fetching a multi-million fan base right away. Comedian, actor, writer, and painter, Pedro Alonso is a man of many talents, one of which is being able to be hated and loved at the same time for his controversially crazy character. And so was his audition story. While the rest of the cast were submitting their tapes, Alonso was traveling around Mexico studying local shamanism. Yes, you heard that right. The actor visited a sacred shrine and performed a ritual himself. And all of this happened the night before Alonso got the scripts for the role of Berlin and joined the show. Are you sensing some signs of sorcery here too? Jokes aside, Pedro's arrival to the show changed the show's storyline completely. Initially, Berlin and the professor weren't brothers, but Pedro and Álvaro discovered a profound and meaningful relationship between their characters and suggested that the writers change them from being just heist collaborators to family members. That link between the brothers was one of the most shocking surprises on the show, and for Alonso, it was like creating a family from the impossible. The truth is, though, Alonso is really uncomfortable with fans expressing their awe over Berlin. The actor himself admitted that Berlin is definitely not the guy you should end up with, saying his intentions are bad, his morals are questionable, and he is always leaning to the dark side. It was extremely difficult for the star to balance the tragedy of his role with the comedic side of his character at the same time.
Voluto intenso.
Despite being so goddamn good at portraying the psychopathic leader, Pedro was actually really happy to step aside for some time and not portray the sadistic Berlin in real time in the series. A whole different story was Esther Acebo, who auditioned to be Monica. Portraying Stockholm meant the actress had to channel the right level of innocence and potential for rebellion.
Bueno, el método de forma no pasa nada, que parece que no ha funcionado.
Considering Monica's drama with her obnoxious ex-partner, Arturo, the casting directors stressed the right chemistry between these castmates the most. To this day, Esther gets waves of emotion recalling her first test. Although the actress had no idea where that road would take her, Acebo totally nailed the challenge and channeled the most authentic connection and blind infatuation with Enrique's character. Meanwhile, Ursula Corbero was absolutely obsessed with portraying the iconic Tokyo.
Me llamo Tokio. Pero cuando comenzó esta historia yo no me llamaba así.
The kick-ass femme fatale was a totally new challenge for the actress, and that's what made Ursula feel petrified to try out for the role. The star told Harper's Bazaar that the initial script blew her mind. It was a huge scale, one-of-a-kind opportunity in Spain. Corbero told herself, "This is rock and roll. I want to be part of this project." Having never portrayed such a powerful woman, Ursula was terrified to join the project and the responsibility of it, and rightfully so. She didn't exactly fit the requirements. Yolanda Serrano and Eva Lera were looking for someone completely different to Corbero, an older woman whose appearance revealed a long, dramatic past. But seeing Corbero, who doesn't take no for an answer, and her playful energy changed their mind. points. Now that we cannot imagine the show without its iconic narrator, the casting directors felt it was essential to find someone whose voice could convey the story best. The narrator is the first character that viewers see and hear, and for this reason, the casting directors listened to audition tapes with their eyes closed. Corbero's enveloping and powerful voice convinced them that she was the one to welcome the viewer to the dive into the Money Heist adventure. Looking back, Corbero resembled very little of the character she is now. Her long blonde locks had to be switched to the Leon film-inspired bob, but the actress was more than happy to manifest Tokyo through the appearance change, and that's how the Money Heist characters came to life. If you want to get more shocking insights about Corbero and her life after Money Heist, make sure to check out this video right here. And until next time, stay awesome!